and I tried so hard to think about what I wanted to do. But it seemed like every time I made a plan, it never worked. It always failed. I wanted to just get past the problem, but the problem was not moving because I was not even making an effort. They tell you that you are going to be part of those that will be fighting for a 50 on the last day of the exam. Like that is your only chance to fight for that 50, or else you are going to get a receipt. I never pictured myself to be doing that. Hi, it's been a while. It has definitely been a while. I think the last time I made a video was 2024. It has been a while. There has been so much that has happened over the past 2 years, and I wanted to like document everything, put everything out, but let's just say that it was not as easy as I thought it would be. So right now I have not eaten. I'm about to make pancakes. I remembered that I wanted to make a video and had been postponing making this video, so I felt this was the right time to make it. So yeah, like the caption said, I eat it here. So make pancakes with me while I talk about what is going on. Alright, so this feeling kind of started when I was like in 300 level. They told me not to play in my 100 level. They told me that I should have, and they told me not to okay, I gained admission in 2022 to UI, University of Ibadan, Medicine and Surgery, and that was one of the best moments ever, because I felt like, that is what everybody, or people that I had talked to, that is what they wanted. And we got it together, and we finally were in the best and first university in Nigeria studying medicine and surgery. It's something that not everybody does, and the fact that I was privileged to get into it, I felt happy, and I feel like anybody else that was in that situation too would feel happy. And I envisioned it as, okay, I'm going there to make a difference. I'm going there to do what I love. I'm going there to be very studious, but I'm also going there to have fun, balance it all, figure it out, figure myself out. So I was going there to do all those things, and that was what I had in mind for it. And yeah, when I got to 100 level, I guess that kind of was still the plan, to just do those things, to get good grades and to also have fun. But the balance started to crash, like when I entered 200 level, because starting from like my 200 level, I was 16 when I entered university. I was still very much a child. I was still very much, just naive and new to the whole environment and just wanting to have a good time. But when I was entering 200 level, I was going to be 18. That period, things started to get a little bit more serious for me. So I made a video here talking about, how I got 90 over 100, blah blah blah, what I did, how I did all of that. That was what I did around that time. I made a vlog about matriculation. I had other vlogs in mind that I wanted to do, preclinical vlog, clinical vlog, and so many other things, day in my life and all. That was what was in mind, but things got a little bit more serious, and I started to have to think about, okay, I can't use the same strategy I've been using before. I have to think of something different. I have to think of another way to do all these things, because I am not facing the same challenges. I am facing more advanced challenges now. I tried so hard to think about what I wanted to do, but it seemed like every time I made a plan, it never worked. It always failed. It went that way, and I had never faced major disappointments before, but I started to experience them on myself, and it was like a different emotion entirely. I think that kind of took a piece out of me in a way. I mean, it's part of the learning process because you're bound to find these, you're bound to get these as you're growing older. So it took a piece of me and it kind of made me destabilized. I wanted to add vanilla flavor, but it's finished, so I'll just be adding my dry ingredients now. A cup is too much. I need baking powder too. I have it on my lap. 200 level passed and I wasn't having the grades that I wanted. I let that pull me down. When you're not used to disappointments, when you're not used to having mental breakdowns, and then you start to get them, and it just every month something new always comes up that is stressing you. It takes a toll on you. I failed in different things that I wanted to do, and I passed my preclinical, and they told me that I would be part of those that were on the borderline, and that was when you already have a plan in mind, and then they tell you that you are going to be part of those that will be fighting for a 50 on the last day of the exam. Like that is your only chance to fight for that 50, or else you are going to get a receipt. That was my first MB. I never pictured myself to be doing that. So, I had not mentally prepared myself for me going there. And when they called me, I had to like just forget everything else because it's not about your feelings anymore. It's about how you're going to fight for this 50. So I had to forget everything else that I was doing and just fight for that 50. I was making terrible errors. I was in my own head, but I still tried to push through, and eventually I did. And I think that was the moment that I came to a realization that this thing is not child's play anymore. It's not something I can joke around with anymore. It's not something that I can smile and just when you want to just ignore your problems. It's not something I can ignore anymore. It's becoming a problem, and when something is becoming a problem, you have to address it, or else the problem will be the end of you. And I was not going to let that happen. There's not one formula to medical school. There's always things that are changing, and clinical school is different from clinical school. Clinical school is harder because you can't just stay in your room and read and pass. You can't just isolate yourself. I mean, in clinical school, you can isolate yourself and you cannot isolate yourself at the same time. But clinical school, you must not isolate yourself. I think people will agree with me. I think people will have heard this before, that it's not fun. I was not expecting fun. As soon as I finished clinical school, I was not expecting fun. But I was not having fun. And I just thought about it. Is this what I'm going to be doing till I get to my final year? Because I'm in 400 level right now. I'm in 400 level. My mates are finalists. But I'm not going to be a finalist until 2029. Is this how I'm going to be living my life till I graduate? What is now the point? I wish I had more control over what I was doing from the beginning. And I did. But then it slipped from my hands when I was faced with adversity, and I don't want that for myself. That's not the person that I aspired to be when I was younger, and that's not the person I'm going to be when I get older. So what am I doing right now to make that difference? I don't like stress. It is stressful. I forgot to add milk. How does one forget to add milk? I'm going to add it anyways. I'm going to need to I'm going to need to put this on the pan. So, but at the same time, I wish I wasn't facing this many problems. I don't like the fact that I'm facing this many problems. I wish there were things that I did differently, which I realize now. And I don't want this version of myself, the version of myself that I faced in clinicals. I don't want this version of myself in clinicals. I want something different for myself. I want to be who I wanted to be before, and I will still be that person. And it starts from right now. So I will multitask if I have to get it. I will go the extra mile if I want to get it. So I will get it. And it's going to start from now. So I'm just going to quickly do this and I'll be right back. Alright. I am back. I made them. I'm not proud of how they look, to be honest. So yeah, already eating out of this one. This is another one. I burnt one though. Where is it? Oh, I almost finished burning this one. This one is also a little bit burnt, but you know, still not bad. I have some honey here. I'm going to use that to eat that, and I have a cup of tea, which I'll be putting milk inside because I don't drink black tea. So something I was thinking about when I was making this. I like to do a lot of things, and I had like different areas that I wanted to be in those places. So when that didn't work out and I was already in medicine, I was like, okay, I can still be anything that I want to be. I went into politics when I was in 300 level, and I was planning it since 200 level, and it was something that I went into because why not? It sounds just like me. Like I would be the person that would want to go into politics, because I was always like someone that loved volunteering, someone that loved serving people, someone that loved doing things for people, and I didn't see any problem with doing it. So I went ahead and I ran for the special duties officer of my association, and I lost. The period after I lost, I kind of became more withdrawn, because like I said, you have not faced disappointment since you are growing up, and all of a sudden it's in your face. I had a lot of things to think about, to reflect on, questions to ask. I had a lot of questions that I wanted to ask myself. What did I do wrong? What happened? People were asking me questions like, what's wrong? They knew that wasn't the type of person that I was. I was always out there, but I think that was the time that I finally like accepted defeat. I don't always have to aim to be perfect. I don't always have to think it's either up here or nothing at all. It's fine to be in the middle. It's fine to be a work in progress. I have accepted that I am a work in progress, and I don't know wherever you are or whatever situation you are in watching this, but I think one lesson that I've picked from the past 3 years of being in this school is that you are still a work in progress, and the time that you want for yourself to do something is not necessarily the time that is going to happen. It doesn't have to happen when you want it, and when you finally accept that, you have no problems with going through some things, because you know that this is just not the allotted time for it. just go into something. I will still go into things. I will still go into things, yes. And I don't have to be the most perfect person at it before I do that. Be bold, strive to attempt to be the best at something, and just accept that even if it doesn't work out, because it doesn't always work out. Even if it doesn't work out, you know that at least you tried. And I think the fact that I tried is the part that makes me the happiest, because I do not regret for a millisecond me contesting, for example. I do not regret for a millisecond me having problems with my academics, for example. I do not regret me having problems with myself in terms of like my character development, because everything is part of the process. So I don't regret a thing. I don't regret a thing, because everything that I have done has led me to this very point that I am in right now. So everything had a reason for why it happened. So I don't regret a thing. And I don't want you to regret a thing too. If it's not working out for you, it's fine. It's just not your time. It will work out later. And if it's not going to work out later, it's definitely not the path that you're supposed to be in. Just do something else, because if you die on that hill, if you are going to say you are going to die on that hill, you will die. Oh, and when you die, people will give a memorial and then they will move on. So don't be stuck on one spot thinking about your failures. You can always strive to be better at something. I will always strive to be better at something, and I will continue to want to be better at something. I might not die there. I might not die there, but I will always strive to be it, and I always work towards it. But don't forget that you're a work in progress, and I think that's the main lesson of everything that we've learned here. I hate it here, yes, but I don't fully hate it here. I kind of like it here, because I wouldn't be who I am today if not for this place. So I like it in medical school, but I don't like what I did not prepare myself for before coming in here. And just know that if you are in the same situation, or if you are in doing something else that is vaguely similar to this in any way, shape, or form, just know that you figure it out. Either it's now or later, or 3 years time, or when you're in your final year, or when you're just entering school, or it's maybe when you have a report to write, maybe when you're working on your project, you will figure it out, and then you realize that, hey, I'm not all that bad. I actually can know what I'm doing, and I will get there. So thank you for listening to my rants. I hope to make more videos like this. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe and like and share, so that this can get to as many people that need it as possible. Have a great day wherever you are. If you're preparing for any exam or anything like that, I wish you all the best. I also have exams and tests that are staring me in the eye like this. So I wish you the best, and I love you so much.